Good Sunday morning. This is hashtag everyone talking about hashtag everything. I'm Kate Doherty with the Radical Ryan, the lovely Laura, the magnificent Mac, and practically Penny just spoofed. But anyway, we are all...
If you're listening, Penny, do you love that?
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm sure she does. And my apologies for not being here last week.
It's okay.
You deserved
thank
it.
You all, after Rhinestones and Rodeo, I was doing dishes. I was doing lots of dishes. We were all doing lots of dishes after Rhinestones and Rodeo. But thank you all for the amazing community support. And if you haven't heard, we've got this little thing coming up that Downcountry's pretty excited about. We're going to do a crab leg and shrimp boil on March 13th.
Woohoo!
Oh, yeah. I think
Moving on, baby.
yeah, it is. Like, exactly. Well, we've got a lot of people. We got a lot of people we got to help. We got a lot of stories
That's right.
we got to tell. We got a lot of people we got to send to national and international conferences. There is no rest for the wicked.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
Anyway, the shrimp and crab boil, we've never done it before, but we're super excited. It's going to be at the Ambiance. And it is going to be on Friday the 13th. It's going to be, I always say 5-star and dive bar. I would say Rhinestones and Rodeo is 5-star. And I'm going to say the shrimp boil, we're going dive bar.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like it's a blue jean and boot affair. And
Excellent.
I mean,
Probably is.
I would say probably, although your dad won't be able to make it because, he would be in anaphylactic shock if he showed up there.
My dad is allergic to shellfish.
Actually, okay, now that you say that, Ralph can't come either.
I'm not really the biggest fan, but everybody else can enjoy it.
Well, just so you know, there is going to be whole hog there as well.
Okay.
Like for the
Once
people
again.
who want to join the crab eaters and the shrimp boil and all that. For those who don't, we will also have whole hog there as well.
Excellent.
And it will be, you'll have the Rebel pig sauce and buns and be able, if you don't want the crab and the shrimp, then that will be there as a backup for those of you who are just joining for the festivities. There will be a cash bar available. And 100% of the proceeds are going to go to Downcountry. So your money will stay right here. It's a $60 ticket. If you want to reserve a table, you need to buy 8 tickets, and it's a $50 charge to reserve a table.
Okay.
Because otherwise it's just come as you are, because
Yeah.
some people are going to come for the whole time. Some people are going to come for part of it. And so I would recommend getting your party of 8 together and reserving a table if you want to sit with, and it does have to be 8 because we do actually, knock on wood, based on the response we're getting so far,
Right.
this is evidently something people are pretty excited about. They don't have the mess in their house and they get to eat as much as they want.
Yeah.
So, there's going to
Double
be,
win.
yeah, and there's going to be amazing music. I mean, yeah.
Well, tell me about that.
Oh, yeah, the Wyatt Tooley Band and the Roller Dogs. The Roller Dogs are 2 amazing local musicians, Clint Mann and Nick Maddox, and they're really good. You actually heard them at Olivia's wedding reception.
Okay.
And they have other musician friends who are going to be joining them throughout the evening. So it's actually, you're not just getting the Wyatt Tooley Band and you're not just getting the Roller Dogs. You're getting the Wyatt Tooley Band, the Roller Dogs.
And friends.
And friends.
And friends, that's right.
I think.
I will say the music at Olivia's reception was pretty darn good, and they just kept it rolling. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
different people, different things.
Yeah,
Kept
and
it
they
rolling.
and they do different everything. Hey, practically Penny just poofed on in
over there?
so
We're no
she's
longer
got it
penniless.
going
Oh, gosh, I'll
on.
pull
All
up Ron's chair and sit
right,
next to me.
she's gonna find a spot. But I do think the fun thing about their music. We are on the air, Ryan. You know
Yeah, we
that,
are.
right?
Yep.
Okay, just making sure you
Yep.
were aware.
We're doing this on the fly, don't worry.
Okay, so back to the show. The music, they play a little bit of everything. So I mean, you'll have country, you'll have rock and roll, you have oldies, you'll have newbies, you have it's a whole thing. So 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. You can come for a while, you can stay the whole time, you can do whichever you prefer. But I do think it'll be a good time. I mean, it's March. March is kind of just,
Crazy.
ugh, you know, and
March is coming out of winter.
It is.
So it's
That's
it's a celebration. April is almost here. That's what this is.
We'll get nice weather again.
That's right. That's right. And actually, it will either be snowing blizzard,
That's right.
or it'll be absolutely 70, sunny, and gorgeous. You never
Could be
know
literally one or the
because
other.
March 13th. So you just never know on March 13th.
Easter is April 5th, and it snowed on Easter.
It snowed on April 4th Easter a couple years ago.
Yeah, so
Well,
I mean,
like 5, 6, 7 years ago. Yeah.
you never
you
know.
never know.
No, you never know. So anyway, we have that, but then, and Ryan, how am I on time?
Oh, you're good. You're
Okay.
good. You got about
all
5
right,
minutes
all right.
left. You're
Normally he likes to start yelling at me about this time. So anyway, so that's what we have on March 13th, but then the following Saturday from 11 to 2, we'll have our World Down Syndrome Day, cocktails, canvases, and chromosomes from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. We did move it to the afternoon because the United Way of Adams County is having their family feud that evening. And so you're going to have a whole day of being able to support some amazing nonprofits. But if you don't know about our cocktails, canvases, and chromosomes, well, I mean, Laura, you were there last night. Penny, you came last year. I mean, it's rather amazing. We have, what we do is we pair local, for lack of words, celebrities. One will be Julie Quinn from John Wood Community College for Life. One will be Stanley Hingelbrink from Hobby Lobby. One will be Sam Dancer from
Nice.
We have
Who showcased his artwork at Rhinestone.
Yeah, and then we have there will be a gentleman from Kunis Automotive who is amazing. He used to be an art teacher, and now he works for Kunis doing all their things and marketing and so on and so forth. Got to meet him. They're amazing. They're gonna be a proud sponsor. And then we have I'm working on. I hope. I asked him at Rhinestones and Rodeo, and at Rhinestones and Rodeo he said yes, but I got to wait for, I'm hoping that we have the amazing Cash Doyle from Doyle Manufacturing. So, and then what
Quite
we
the
do,
lineup.
yeah, it is quite the lineup. I'm really excited. And then we'll have our local celebrities rocking an extra chromosome will be doing their own canvas with their partners, and then we put buckets in front of them, and you can vote on your favorite, and we announce a winner at the end of this. But it's free. It is free to the public. I mean, to vote for your favorite artist is, I don't remember what it was, $5, something like that. Not, you know what I mean, to put your vote in. Actually, I think it's like 5 for 1, 10 for something. Very similar to this. That's how we did it last year.
Yeah.
Or, an arm length, and then you put your tokens in there. But it's free hot dogs for the kids. We have balloons. We have coloring. The Marion County R2 design class is going to be there doing an arty party. For
that's
those who
cool.
want to register. Yeah, that'll be pretty neat. So really excited about what we have coming up in March.
And I know you moved it because of the United Way thing, but actually I think it's kind of cool to have something in the afternoon to go do with your family.
Yeah, in March. I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
I
kind
love
of in the...
Always something going on.
Well, we
And super family friendly.
Oh, yeah.
Both actually the crab boil also.
yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know that there's anything that we ever do
That's
that isn't
not
family
but
friendly.
No, but these both lend themselves to come on everybody, let's go.
yeah.
And look, I know that it's
That's a
always a
free
big
lunch,
deal
too.
that, from the standpoint of, you just got done with Rhinestones and Rodeo. You talk about, obviously, these ones coming up. Again, it never sleeps. We're always doing something else. You had said it, these dollars stay local. And I know we always talk about that. But again, it's like, how does this money help? I mean, for those that are brand new to it, that maybe are listening for the first time, how does this money help, Kate, in the sense of the grand scheme of what Downcountry wants to do?
Well, we'll have about 150 people that we've got to send to Orlando this summer, vetting our 10 new recipients, including our other families. But that's not including the other conferences that we're sending people to around the country. And so, I mean, last year our airfare alone was $40,000, hotel was $70,000. I mean, it's doubled in price of what it used to be, and it matters because when they come back and they pay forward this information, I mean, like it's impacting our families and therapists and teachers and communities right here in the tri-states. I think. I believe on February 13th at Quincy Community Theater, actually, they're going to do a resource fair. And I think some of our doctors are actually going to be there, so kind of like an Ask a Doctor, because we also send doctors from our area out to national and international conferences so that they can also be a support system for kids who learn differently or have potentially different medical challenges. we'll talk a little bit more about this when we come back. For now, this is Hashtag Everyone talking about Hashtag Everything. Good Sunday morning. This is Hashtag Everyone talking about Hashtag Everything. I'm Kate Doherty with the Radical Ryan, the Magnificent Mac, the lovely Laura, and the Practically Perfect Penny. We are all present and accounted for this morning.
We're all here.
It's a modern day miracle.
That's the first in quite a while, I'd
It
say.
is the first in quite a while. Well, it's hard for us all to get our acts together on the same day. I mean,
True.
I would love to tell you that we had our acts together, but we do not. And actually,
Never.
that was conversation on break. Penny was just talking about she's now quote unquote retired. Maybe, haha, very funny. However, she's not really, and she's lost all semblance of time. But it happens. I mean, I will tell you right now that Ella can drive. So my mornings, I used to get up. And I still get up at 4:30 or 6:30, whatever, and I'm doing my thing, and I'm doing that. But I don't
have to walk out the door to get little people places.
I don't. I don't. And so I'm like, oh, bye, kids. And I watch them drive off, and I'm like, oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
So, now.
So you pause.
Yeah, now,
You
and
do that.
normally I'm at school Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So, on those days I do actually, but this morning, nope. Just watched them go meander
See ya.
on out the door. Yeah.
That was it.
You just got to sip on your coffee and just sit there and do
I
nothing.
read my Bible. I sipped on my coffee, and Ryan, I don't know that I've ever done
I'm
nothing,
with
but
you.
anyway, I don't even know what that would be like.
No.
Anywho, okay, so we were talking about the shrimp and crab boil on March 13th, which I hope everybody's excited about.
Yep.
I think I forgot to say how they get tickets.
Please, yes.
Okay, so the tickets are available online up at downcountry.com. If you would prefer to pay cash or check, you need to call or text 217-617-3568. Again, that's 217-617-3568. And we absolutely will take cash or check, and you can reserve that, but you've got to place that order through me, myself, and yours truly. That's how we'll do that. So if you prefer to pay that way, you absolutely can. Otherwise, the tickets are available online. I would highly recommend that you get your tickets before, not the day of, because we are planning for food, and I actually really do think we'll sell out. So anyway, I would recommend getting those tickets in advance and not waiting till the last minute. And I know normally, that's not an issue, but I think.
Well, I think anyone who's ever planned any kind of an event, especially a food-focused event, it would be very kind to the organization if you get your tickets a week in advance
Yep.
instead of the day of.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a planning, because you have to order and you've got to make sure you have enough.
Anyone
and-
who's ever planned anything knows that.
Yeah.
So, no.
yeah. Anyway, just kind of wanted to put that there.
Food.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, for the World Down Syndrome Day party, you do not need it's free to the public. It's open. There is no charge for that. I mean, you do not need to make reservations. We will have a roaster pan full of hot dogs, and we will have tons of chips, and we will have anything you could possibly want there. So, I mean, that's a little bit different affair. But anyway, so yeah,
Can you
and
give me that date again? 3/21?
yeah, 321, just after the 21st chromosome. And to Ryan's point earlier, I mean, these events they are extraordinarily important. I mean, fundraisers, I don't know if people understand, one, yes, it raises awareness, but these funds are really needed and necessary. And for us, since everything has doubled, it's more than, we desperately needed to come up with another fundraiser. And I'm hoping we can find another one before the end of the year, that we can do something fun. I'm not sure what that'll be yet, but I'm open to ideas. So if you're listening to the show today and think, oh, I think this would be a wonderful fundraiser for Downcountry, let me know.
217-617.
Yeah. Anyway.
Can we go back? I mean, I'm presuming, 90% of the listening audience right now knows exactly what you do with the money. And you were talking about sending all these people to all these different places. But I don't know, just to boil it down to the very beginning.
Downcountry has two missions.
There you go.
The first mission is to send parents, teachers, therapists, doctors, community, out to national, international conferences to learn about education, about behavior, about medical needs, about technology, about adaptive equipment, about inclusion, about all these different ways that we can better serve and include hashtag every child, hashtag everyone here in the tri-states. Especially focusing on what I would call the 10% who maybe need a little more intervention because they struggle either physically, academically, socially in some capacity, or the 10% who are above and beyond. I mean, it's very easy to serve this 80%. I mean, like, and which, with all due respect, most of us fall in the 80%. But the 10% becomes, it's a little bit more difficult to make sure that we have the proper techniques, the proper information. I mean, there's a lot of stigma out there, which is the second part of what Downcountry does, is work very hard to change the stigma and misconceptions and perceptions related to people who have quote unquote different abilities or disabilities or whatever. I mean, for some of us, some people love the term disabilities. I'm not really a fan of the term disabilities because I don't know. It just, for me, I prefer the term different abilities. You know, I just feel like,
Especially abled.
Yeah, I mean, even like at Rhinestones and Rodeo this year, you know, JT, who was a young man who was injured in a football accident this year, he painted artwork, beautiful artwork that, I mean, he raised over $10,000 with his paintings that he painted, you know, using a toothbrush held in his mouth. I mean, like, I mean, he has an extraordinary gift. You know, I don't know how you know what I mean? How do you quantify that? I mean, and when I think about Elliot and, you know, some of the gifts he has, I mean, I think, I don't remember who I was talking to the other day, but I mean, I don't know any other kid. He has a buddy who's going through a really bad breakup and he calls him every day just to check on him. And then like he calls his grandmothers every single day. I mean, like every single day, and talks to them, for a long time, normally until they end up. I mean, and the other night he sat on the couch and he sang to my mom for like an hour. Now, he doesn't sing very well. Sorry, Elliot. But he sang to her
He
for
tries.
an hour. Yeah, and she loved it. I mean, she loved it. I mean, and God bless my mom because, it was a little rough for the rest of us, but Gigi loved it, so that was good. And so, I mean, I guess for me, that's that. And I mean, ultimately, Downcountry's mission is just to make sure that we can get the quality of information in the hands of our tri-state area residents that we know will improve life outcomes. And I know it improves life outcomes because now we have a Marissa, we've got a Caden, I see it. I see our self-advocates and our people being employed. I see them dating. I see them, you know what I mean? I mean, Marissa has a YouTube channel. You know what I mean? Like, there's just so many different things that I see. And it's about allowing them to have the full experience of life. And too often, you know, people, because they're quote unquote, you know, in this protection mode, you know, they don't allow them to fully have that full range of life. And so,
well, I mean, I think you hear, you know, again, a lot of different nonprofits, again, they have these fundraisers and things like that. And not saying that it's everybody that thinks it's like, oh, there's another fundraiser, there's this, there's that. But I think the whole purpose behind it is, again, you're not just getting dollars. You don't just have the money to get everything you mentioned is an extraordinary thing that has come out of this. But that does not happen unless you have fun events like this and do different things around the clock when it comes to your calendar.
And here's the deal. You don't know what you don't know.
Right.
And no different than like at Rhinestones and Rodeo, I truly believe, you know, and I've had people say, you know, like my life was changed by that night, you know, or I never thought about that, or I had no idea about XYZ, whether it's sleep apnea, the hypoglossal treatment, like any of those things. And I feel like anytime you come to one of our events, one, you are going to have fun. And I do believe that you're going to meet, mix, mingle, and you're going to learn while you're having a good time. And I think that too often, actually, I had a conversation with Julie Quinn about this as they were gearing up for this resource fair that Quincy Community Theaters kind of trying to highlight and put on. You know, very often, I feel like people are put in intimidating situations, and you can say, and when I say intimidating, I don't necessarily know that it's designed to be intimidating, but like, for example, a school-based setting, if you're a parent going in, and you need to talk about your child, and there's this team of education experts sitting in front of you, that is kind of intimidating. I mean, that's not meant
It's not intended to be, but it's very intimidating.
You know, or when you're a parent and you go in with your child and you meet with a team of doctors and you're attempting to, make decisions and do things, and it's not designed to be intimidating, and yet I do believe it can be, and it can be very overwhelming. And actually, when we come back, Ryan, I know you're waving at me, but when we come back, let's talk a little bit about that, because I do think that one of the best benefits of Downcountry is the fact, since we provide an opportunity for teachers and medical experts and parents to have a non-intimidating environment to talk about, I really think it eases the ability to ask questions and better communicate. For now, this is hashtag everyone talking about hashtag everything. We'll be right back. Good Sunday morning. This is hashtag everyone talking about hashtag everything. I'm Kate Doherty with the Magnificent Mac, the Radical Ryan, the Practically Perfect Penny, and the lovely Laura McReynolds. And Mac, I'm really sorry. We kind of talked over you this last section. I do apologize.
No, it's all fine. You guys are a bit more. You're a bit more knowledgeable on the adult shows. I'm just 19, so I'm still trying to figure this out.
I know, but you know what? One of the beautiful things about you, Mac, is Mac has been surrounded by people with different abilities his entire life. And so it's very interesting because Mac has zero, for lack of a word, he is not intimidated. And since we were just talking about intimidating, you aren't, Mac, are you?
I don't mind people at all, really. I don't mind being in crowds or really anything. I like my alone time. I like being home alone, but it doesn't really scare me. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, and he's not scared to ask questions either. But I do think part of that comes from, being around and in these different situations.
And I just come from a very sociable family.
You do come from...
Like, my family. We do everything together.
And your family does do everything together. But when we were talking, again, like about the kind of that upcoming resource fair they're looking at doing, it was trying to figure out ways that you can make it less, because even like different places will do quote unquote resource fairs, but like you're still walking up to a table and you know what I mean? Like, and you still are like, and sometimes you don't even know the questions to ask. I mean, if you only know what you know.
Right.
And
That's a huge point.
yeah.
I mean, because when you go to, there was a family at the New Orleans NDSC that I went to, National Down Syndrome Congress, that I went to, and they were saying, they didn't really know what to expect, but they also didn't know who to approach, what to ask, and it took them like 2 days in before they were just like, blah, 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 seriously.
So I think that's a very good point. But I used to be the person on the other side of that table when I would do the resource fairs, the health fairs, et cetera, which were really big a couple decades ago, which sound like I just aged myself. But anyway, it is an awkward dynamic because, I always tried to have some sort of an engaging activity of some sort. But that person still has to feel comfortable coming up to that table, because you don't know what is going to happen if you come to that table. So there's so many dynamics that
Well,
go
and
into
one
this.
bad experience can really turn people off. I mean, like, I feel like I have a little bit of a different personality, and I am cognizant of that, because I think of some of the things that different doctors have said, or educators have said, I mean, like I've had educators say, don't you want him with, his own kind? And I'm like, what in the heck do you mean by that? Like, I have no idea what you're even talking about here.
Humankind?
Yeah, the humankind. It was like, like, are you kidding me right now? And have done trainings with people who are like, well, what do you expect to get out of this? Well, I'm, thinking that I'm going to get a young man who's going to grow up, get married, and, live a full life. That's what I'm expecting to get out of, having him fully included. And I've also had, I thought Tony... Oh my God, this doctor, literally basically, it was when Elliot was having his open heart surgery, and, Tony asked him a question, a very legitimate question, and the doctor kind of made fun of him, like, well, let me go shake my magic 8-ball. And Tony was like, what just happened? You know what I mean? Like, what just happened there? And then another doctor literally basically said, try not to let it ruin your life. I mean, you're talking about my kid, and so I feel like, you could, I mean, for me, and my father's going to laugh at this. Like, if you give me the word no, I feel like that's just another way to say yes. I'm going to keep coming back at you. Like, that's just, but not everybody has that personality. And I mean, that's even, I can't remember. I was reading some business, whatever, like one of those businessy books about, and it said like 90% of the people, the first time they get a no or like a door shut or a whoop, they stop. They stop. 90% of people, they just, boom, oh, we can't do that. And they just stop.
Right.
And there's only like 10% of the population that goes, I'm going to go check around that. And I mean, my experience is really no is just another opportunity to figure out a way for somebody to say yes or to find another way around it. Because very rarely is there only one approach to something. There may be only one, for lack of a better word, what they've always done,
Right.
But typically there's always some form of another workaround that you can come up with to make it suit more what your need or what your family needs. Like for example, I'm on it like CPAP. I mean, there's a lot of different things when it comes to sleep. I know I always refer back to sleep apnea, but it's kind of like my expert base. I mean, like there's a lot of different things that you can do for that. It's not just a CPAP machine. It's not just the hypoglossal. They've got mouth apparatuses. They've got nose things. They've got a lot of different things. They have weight reduction plans. I mean, to help work with that particular thing. And so it's figuring out what works for you. And I do think kind of that piece most of the time is one of the best benefits of sending people out to the national, international conferences. Is it's giving more options and more, or like the Adrian family who we sent to the conferences last year, and there's a possible treatment, for their son Reese. I mean, that's
They would
amazing.
have never made that connection.
No, they never would have made the connection
yeah.
without going to that. I mean,
Fantastic.
it is fantastic. I mean, like, there's no guarantee, but it wasn't even a possibility if we hadn't sent them out. You know what I mean? We wouldn't have known.
And it all comes back full circle to everything that you're doing and the Downcountry is doing from the standpoint of fundraisers, because you can't connect that dot without this, without
Right.
that.
Yeah.
And again, to also, yes, it's to raise money, and you also hit on it that it is the awareness piece and growing that at these kind of events as well. So you don't get the doctor that says, let me, shake my magic 8-ball, let me do this, let me do that. You then further the education base just by talking, and you don't get that without going on March 13th or 321 and things like that, or Rhinestones and Rodeo or whatever throughout the year that allows that to grow.
I also think that, I think it's easy for people to think, well, this doesn't apply to me. I don't know anybody in this kind of category, whatever. But I think that we have to remember this touches everybody, and one of the individuals that came to Rhinestones and Rodeo with me, she had been a kindergarten teacher at a neighboring school, and it was because of the principal, who was a iLearn recipient, who managed to get iPads into the school, and then that teacher ended up receiving an iPad, and then all of those kids benefited from the iPads, and I mean, it affects everyone. Everyone benefits from this, not just kiddos who rock an extra chromosome.
Well, yeah, no, and that's the thing. Anything that someone with an extra chromosome has, you or I may or may not have, and so it's applicable to #everyone, which is kind of why we named the show #everyone, talking about #everything, hoping that we can help make the connections. So now to go back, just so everybody, because if they've been listening to us, we have a shrimp and crab boil
That's right.
on March 13th.
Yep.
Cash bar, music. There will also be hog there for you to eat. So cash bar, there's the Wyatt Tooley Band and the Roller Dogs. I mean, it's going to be music. You get off work at 5. You can roll on out. It will be kid friendly. It is a $60 ticket. It's $50 to reserve a table of 8. You can, if you do not wish to pay online, you can call 217-617-3568.
That's right.
Or you just go to the website upatdowncountry.com and buy your tickets.
And this is at the Ambiance.
This is at the Ambiance right here in Quincy, Illinois. And then on March 21st, we have World Down Syndrome Day from 11 to 2. It will have free food, so you don't have to pay for lunch. Yeehaw. We will have a celebrity paint-off like we did last year. We will have a little paint party. We will have all the things. Very excited about this. And there is no charge for that. So that's very exciting. And then I guess that evening we'll put a plug in for the United Way of Adams County, because that night there's the Family Feud they're going to be selling tickets to. And oh, wait. I may or may not be playing.
Oh, that's why she had to move. Makes sense
Yeah.
now. Makes sense now.
Yeah, well,
I hear you.
you
I
gotta,
hear
you gotta support everybody
Always.
in our community,
Always.
because we've got a lot of organizations doing really great things. But for now, this is hashtag everyone talking about hashtag everything. We'll see you next week.